Good morning, everybody. It's Marty the JavaScript Party, and Rhett can't come in today because the dogs are going to get dropped off. My son did pick them up last night, but he's dropping them off this morning. It is 8:07 a.m. and it is, what is it? Apparently, we have an air quality alert in effect. Let's see. What are we looking at? 63 degrees Fahrenheit outside. It definitely feels warmer than that, but the um, but it's cold. We are in what physically in what's called fall. I don't know if we're actually in fall. I think we are in fall. And that one of the attributes of fall is that we get our leaves start falling off of our trees. So that's always an interesting debate around here because what a lot of people the leaves drop tons and tons of trees and then they kind of bag up all the leaves and take them away, and then like a few years go and down the line, and then the trees will start to fall over because I think they need that mass to be able to keep the density of the dirt, um, so that they don't fall over. So then what happens is people will typically start cutting down the trees around their house. But the problem with that is most of our houses, the way they're set up, don't really aren't. It's not really feasible to keep them cool in the summers, if the sun if they're directly in the sun. The trees absorb a tremendous amount of energy, so it leads to just tons and tons of weird situations. But anyways, we had to redo the oh, look at that. um, so our little circle is off a little bit. um, I think it's because of that margin right. So let's get rid of that. I think we can just comment that. So we'll comment that out. Let it reload, refresh. Oh, I don't know. No, that didn't fix it. So that one's right on, that one's off a little bit. So I guess we need to figure that out. But I think all the work we did was in here. And then, yeah, I just noticed we don't have little hands. So I was thinking, oh, we're going to um, uh, start unit testing. And I was going to say that I think one thing I had planned to say was that I do believe that, yeah, so there we go, that's better. And I don't know if changing the color when it's let's see. I don't know. For some reason, oh, I'm hitting the cap locks. um, oh, now I'm hitting shift. Oh my gosh, what a day. There we go. So I think that's good enough. I don't think there's reason to do that. But I do want this to not be sort of offset. I don't quite understand why it is, and that is, I don't even think that's, I don't know if that's part of this. Okay, so that is this thing. So for some reason, this guy is offset. Is that the only? No. See, we did add this margin right so that we could add a little space in there. But I don't know why that is off-centered. And oh, so I was going to say that I think it would have been very, very difficult um, to um, it would have been extremely difficult to do this refactor. It would have been a lot harder without unit tests and without end-to-end tests, because you're just like, I don't know what I might have broken. So okay, so here is our button. As you see, it's got like a little, um, you can kind of see a little, I don't know why. Let's hold this. You see that there's like a little bit of for some reason it is something off to the right, but um, we had gotten rid of that and it was still there. And I'm not, oh, see, we're seeing this 10 right here. And then I think this button. Okay, so we're just seeing padding around. You can see the padding right through here. But when we go on this icon, it's got a 10 margin to the right, and we don't want that. I think we can, just for testing purposes, get rid of that and see if it's better now. Nope. And I feel like that's happening. Maybe it's this app menu. App menu, and then see, we're seeing the button, and then it's got the maybe it's the flex. I bet you it's the flex. I think it's this thing. Display inline flex. So let me comment that out. And that's kind of weird because it says to align the item center inside of it. Okay, so let's just see if this is the overall issue. So I'm thinking that this style here is messing that up there. If that is the case, then it probably makes sense to, yeah, so that style is messing up the things. And basic, oh, did not want to do that. So now what I like to do, and I don't know why I enjoy doing this, but I like to just sort of remove one thing at a time and just see if it, so just creating the rule doesn't exist. Or the selector, that is a selector. This is I believe this thing, together, the selector and then this assigner, I can't remember what these things are called, but this property here is, together is a rule. Okay, so as you see now, things are kind of messed up. And then this helps a little bit, I think. So I think what we want to do is add a class to these guys. So we just double down. It's like class equals menu button. Yep. Actually, what we could actually do, that is probably a better idea, actually, instead of adding a new class. And adding a new class, there's nothing wrong with that. It really isn't. There's just like I think a better approach would be to become more selective. So basically, to take this, and this is not CSS. This, what I'm about to do is CSS, SCSS. And then this SCSS code, so you notice this is called extension SCSS, will be transpiled into CSS code, which will then look more like, will look different. And I think that, that is probably, I don't know, amongst the, definitely in the top 10 most difficult things about being a software developer today, is just even knowing what technology you're working with at any given time. All right, so now we're good. And so the thing is what has happened is now only anything that's inside of a menu. And like I said, this is SCSS. So just for the, like if we go to ChatGPT, I think we could probably say, can you convert this SCSS to CSS? It's funny, I was working with somebody the other day and they were like, I went into ChatGPT and asked like something pretty simple, and he was kind of laughing at me like, and it was kind of funny because he's probably around 30 years old, And like he thinks it's perfectly normal to just Google things, and that's a very reasonable way to do things, but not to use ChatGPT to find things. And it's just like, and he's just kind of like, oh, using ChatGPT is lazy and all that. And to me, like using ChatGPT is exactly like using Google, because we used to have ways of doing things before Google, and then when we first got Google out, people were like, oh, that's lazy. But a new technology came out, so it was like, okay, well, it's a lot faster, and you can do a lot more with Google than you can with papers. We used to have books and books and books full of information, and you'd remember which book it was in. You go look and say, oh, okay, yeah, that's right, this is how you do that, whatever. um, but it was funny for him to think that okay, so yeah, so this would be the actual CSS, but um, but I feel like it's a little easier to contemplate what's going on if you, with SCSS, having this embedded in there, but it will convert it to this, and this is what the browser knows how to understand. Basically, this is like a menu, something that has a menu class and is a button. I think like must be inside of a button, and then um, anything that has a menu as a mouse inside of a button, and then is inside of a mat icon. Um, so that is like, that would be how you do that. Anyways, so there's that. I think that was everything. So we got our hand up there. We got that. All right, so let's go ahead and let's see. It is 8:19, so I still got plenty of time. My job is up, kind of gotten like um, hot and heavy, like with the technology, the stuff I'm working on is A, very very fascinating, but B, it's also like become very very critical to the organization. So I am working on that. Actually, I feel like I need a little bit right margin or left margin as well. And I like how it's not going to have to reload to do this. Okay, so that is not what we wanted. So basically, I just put like a little space between the icon and then, but what I didn't like is how close the Z is to the edge there. So I guess I need to do padding. Oh wait, that's what I need. I need padding right. And then I think that added a little more space there. Let's make this 5 pixels. Let's make this 25 pixels. Oh, okay, so that is not. Okay, so I'm just totally in the wrong place altogether. I want the button to have padding on the right. So I want a little bit more white space in between the Z and there. So, and yeah, padding right is 5px. It does take a little bit of remembering stuff to get get the padding versus margin and all that down. It just takes a little bit of practice. It's not too bad. So I think that's good. We could add like a hover effect. It actually does have a hover effect. I didn't notice it before, but you can see a slight change. Okay, so I think that is good. So I think it's time to run our unit test. So npm run test. And this will run all our unit tests, and I'm pretty sure everything in here is going to get broken, and maybe even some stuff in app. Let's see, where have we seen? So we can click this and we can see. I had the weirdest Git issue yesterday. So yeah, so it looks like only app menu is going to be affected. So in Git, like I was like, I couldn't commit something. I was just trying to commit something. And what had happened was that my boss and I were working together, and we decided we wanted to rename something to a smaller, uh, rename it, but just case wise. So we had like hello world, and we had the W large, but we wanted the W to be small. And so he did that and he committed it. And then when I pulled down the changes, for some reason, it didn't, it, on my computer, it was still the large, like hello with a capital W. And so then when I made changes in that file and I tried to commit it, it would just like commit and then revert and commit and revert. Or try to add it. I tried to stage it. It would just commit. It would show up in the like if you do this, like if I would hit this plus button, it would show up there just for a second, and then it would go right back. And and then like if I did it from the command line, it wouldn't show any issue. It would just, I'd say like git add dot, and it wouldn't show any issue. And so then so I was like, man, I don't know what's going on. So I ended up deleting the whole file, copying the contents of the file into another file, deleting the whole file, and then recreating the file. And then everything worked perfectly fine with the right, with the hello with the little W world. That was such a strange thing. All right, so we have an issue just compiling this thing, which I don't think is a surprise. Let me hit this. So I'm gonna hold the control button down and click this button. It'll take me to the problem. So show menu, I don't think has any kind of, if I remember correctly, it does not have any arguments. We still have is open, so this, I think this will still work. That might be the only change. I thought we deleted some functions, but maybe not. All right, so it should watch. I think we were having a problem with the watch, and then it's weird that the, oh, because it never compiled. So for some reason, it's not catching that this changed. So I think we have to kill it and do it again. But I will say I definitely feel a lot better about this task of sort of removing this menu. Oh, okay, so we do know this menu trigger isn't even a thing anymore. So we don't even want that. So they compiled. All right, so that is good. And we have 100% test coverage. I feel like that's good enough. And definitely feel a lot better about like that all the open close logic is still good and all that. So I am happy to do that. And right now at this moment, even though we've spent months and months and months building out unit tests and all that, I'm very happy we have them at the moment. I'm just trying to keep it real. And then so npm run open colon, no, Cypress. I always want to say open colon Cypress, not Cypress colon open. And I'll just run through all the tests to make sure everything still works. I do. I actually feel good about the reflow stuff that you know, we didn't manage to somehow break reflow. I'm a little confused at. Oh, okay, it's still opening. Yeah, it's super slow. And actually, it's super slow running it. But if the end-to-end tests feel good, then seem good, then I'm going to commit this, and then, well, okay. Before we do that, let's go ahead and inspect memory detached. Let's see where we're at. Okay, so we do have one detached. We have 3 nodes that are the more option nodes for some reason. Now it could just be like that HAR thing, and this is just sort of a, like, they made it so it works a little bit better for us. Take snapshot. Okay, so we're good. Let's take another snapshot. Okay, yeah, we're still good. So I think we fixed the issue. I guess we can take this snapshot, add viz, add reflow, change that, close this, and let's check our profile. Now there could be other stuff that's just not even that. So we have not created a single detached node. So that makes me happy. So I'm happy, 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 happy. All right, start Chrome. And just make sure we haven't broken anything. So I think the Cypress sort of, I'm trying to sort of wrap my mind. This is the first project I've ever done Cypress on. We are officially using Cypress where it works, so I'm very proud of that. Now, I don't know that it's official, but it has massive momentum in our organization now. Unfortunately, as per usual, I've been completely squeezed out of it, which is kind of a bummer, but it's just, it is what it is. I'm glad. I think the organization will be better off for it. And I think as long as the organization is healthier, I'm healthier. But I would like to have been a part of it. And who knows, maybe they will need me to do that at some point, to be part of it. But I do think that at my current age, I would be ooh, something went wrong. Now I remember we had to do some weird tab stuff to get it to work before. And so maybe this, because I remember I was just like, this is not how the actual keyboard works. So maybe we will be. But it does look like we're going to have to do some Cypress work to get this thing. That's so nice. But yeah, I think at my current age, I'm much better suited at this point to being, yeah, I think this is the same issue, to being a QA. And I actually think I can have more impact in an organization as a QA than I can as a developer. Yeah, I think that's the same issue. So would love to sort of re sort of refocus my career in more of a. The reason is I think that I personally could do more as a QA than I can as a dev, is because, like, I kind of get stuff done fast as a dev, and then I'm sort of siloed into an area, and I have to have such incredible depth of knowledge of the specific technologies. But as a QA, you really want to have massive understanding of your application, and then you want to make sure that everything in the application works perfectly. And with these new tools that you can write code to make sure that the application still works, it's you can accelerate how fast things can get done, from that other area. So everything is working except for keyboard, and it is It's only 8:32. I'm smart today. Today's a smart day for me. All right. So let's go ahead and go to our packages so we can and just shut everything else down, or close all the other tabs. Others, and then come into this mood, and let's go ahead and go to Cypress, and it is the keyboard one. I think whatever the problem is for keyboard is also going to be the problem for everything else. So let's just sort of type sends key down and key up. Okay, I'm actually just going to go from let's just go from here to here, and let's just comment everything out. Hit save. Is that the one we were looking at? Yeah, okay, so keyboard's good to this point. Let's see, I think I like this being a little bit different, right? Right there is the sweet spot. All right. Let's uncomment this first set. Nice. Next one. Very good. Okay, so at this point, all we're doing is waiting time and reloading. So I don't think either of those two should be an issue. And now we are going to do wait for page to be fully loaded, get body. I feel like, let me put this on a new line. I feel like this one is working, right? It should be visible, wait for the, and then we log tab 1. And I don't know if tab 1. Okay, press tab, focus must start somewhere. Okay, let's see if we get the tab to work here. Okay, so this is actually the tabbing. See, this is probably a good, would be a good, well, actually, I was going to say its own good little function, but all it does is call tab. So what does tab do? So it didn't do anything. See, I feel like it used to actually do something over there. And it's kind of hard because, so when I actually click tab, it actually selected something. So apparently you have to select tab twice to get anything to happen. And it does not seem to be actually working right? Because when I clicked on there and just hit tab, it worked. Let's see, how did we get it to, well, oh, okay, so then we do this apparently, but that was commented out. And then this one was commented out. See, I don't, okay, so this was, so these were all commented out before. So nothing has failed yet. Now, I don't know if this can happen because it doesn't seem like anything is actually tabbed on. Okay, first enter opens menu. And so that's the other thing is like the menu is closed, is currently open. Oh, so I think our old system, you when you click off of it, it would close. But our system, when you click off of it, now does not close. So you have to close it. If you want to open it, like that's one of the huge advantages to the previous thing. And I didn't even think about that. But the other one, when it would pop up, if you clicked off, it would close. And that's what this body click was doing. Yet another just huge win for end-to-end tests. Like I just didn't consider that. Um, so this basically, okay. So what's weird, okay, so let's go ahead and kind of go back to the reload. So we should, everything should be closed on reload though, right? Yeah. So then if we uncomment both of these, see we never get, so how do we do it in the beginning? So we actually get the app menu and click, which is kind of a bummer because we were really hoping to do tabs, but like it doesn't seem like it matters how many times we tab at this point. And there's just no telling where the tab is going. So I think what we want to do is click on the body just to activate it. I mean, it's a kind of cheating a little bit, but I don't think this is, um, I don't think this is like actually represents how the browser would work in real life for an actual user. So hoping that this makes the whole body. See, it's just not doing what I want. I think maybe we need to do this. So unfortunately, the test just isn't, it just isn't working the same. Um, see what happens when I just click the menu. So it opened, so it opens the menu, which I don't think is what we actually want. Um, and what's weird is that well, okay. And then the other thing is, it doesn't seem like it's. That menu click. Yeah, so this one just clicks on it. It doesn't actually use the tabbing. And then this one, so what is this guy? All right, well, is there, I wonder if there's a focus. Can't remember. I think there might be a focus. Yeah, so it's not, it's just not even tabbing at all, I guess is the problem. Like if I click over here, oh, and maybe that's why. Okay, so there was a focus. I know we've done focus before. I don't know if it was in this file. Oops, focus. So we did this. More options button, focus. Oh, maybe that's my problem. Maybe I'm not selecting it properly. I'm just curious what this does now. Hmm. It's like, did it, so that did work. Oh, okay, and it did do that. And then log tab one, body. Oh, okay, so it did take us there. So as we were tabbing, for some reason it went from there to there on the tab, which was weird. But I wonder if I make it body instead. I didn't even, let's try that again. Never really made heavy use of this side, I don't think, before. So okay, so that's good. So it's in the right place. I think it would be nice. I don't know why it's not. Well, I guess because it's on hover that the not. But I thought when it was focused, it would put the round thing around it. See, now when I hit the tab, it does. Okay, so where is it taking us again? Okay, so we want to tab one more time. I'm not exactly 100% sure that this is right, but that this is what I want, but you know, we're trying to figure it out. Okay, so that's in the right place. And then I don't think, okay, so those were commented out already. So let's bring them back to their regular commented so we don't get confused. Now, on the focus thing, I want to press enter. Okay, and that worked. So we're showing that the keyboard worked. I don't know if I like how it looks. Let's see, I think that's this guy. Let's reload and just see if this, see, it's not accurate, right? Because this is how it looks when I'm actually hitting the tab button. But for some reason, it's behaving a little bit differently in the test, which is just the reality, you know, like everything does not work. Second, okay, apparently this will close it, we're hoping. Nope, so it came in, went out, I guess that's what we want. Okay, but it looks like what I wanted to do is second click enter. Oh, because that was another behavior of that other thing, is when it popped up, it would automatically assign it to the very first thing, which is what was causing that weird focus bug thing. But so that has changed. So now you hit enter and now you have to hit tab again. So maybe that's not quite right. Maybe it would be better if it focused on that first thing. But so basically what I want to do is tab. So this was supposed to create a viz. But we're going to do another tab on this. So I think that that's everything that's broken everywhere now that I think about it, is probably that everything is assuming that the first item gets selected, which, like I said, might be the right approach. And I guess it is probably the right approach. That's what we need to do. So where are we? 846. All right. So basically, we want to make sure that when we open the menu, that the first item in the menu is selected once it's opened. So let's add a note here. Ensure first item in the menu is open, is selected, is focused. and then I'm just going to, just so I don't forget it, I'm going to do a cy log. So this did find something that was broken, a behavior that was broken. The behavior is that we lost. We lost the behavior of selecting the first item as soon as you open the menu, which I think is pretty important to screen readers. Once you've opened it, then your first whatever you can do should become available immediately. Make sure the focus is on the add viz button. So I would say this is a huge, just enormous win for Cypress and end-to-end testing, because there is no effing way I was going to catch this without this testing that things work the way I want it to work. Now, how I get that to work, I don't know. It shouldn't be that big of a deal. The problem is that when JavaScript goes through and starts executing a bunch of commands, like it executes all the commands, then it draws a screen, and then it executes another set of commands. Well, this isn't visible, so that means I need to break those up. I need to say, hey, go ahead and make that visible. Then once it's visible, then I can focus on it, because the browsers were updated, I don't know, probably about 10 years ago, to where they won't let you select things that are not visible. It used to be no big deal. You could just select it, whether it was, you could focus on it, whether it was visible or not. So we'll have to come up with a good way to do that, which will probably be to create a template reference variable for this component here, and then set the focus on it. That's probably going to be what we have to do. So Angular, and I have a menu that is hidden, but when I open it, I want to focus on it. Is that possible? It is possible, but I want to leave it open-ended so that it gives me various options as opposed to. So that was my first instinct too. Then when you open, yeah, see, it says I have to do a set timeout. I was using Angular material, so this behavior was working for me, but I decided to go a different direction due to what are they called? Detached nodes. Attached nodes are known pain point if you're toggling menus. Okay, so this is a lie. I don't know why they keep propagating that lie, but whatever. You can use. Okay, so they're saying that. So there's this with a set timeout. Okay. So hidden, I don't think this is true either. Option 2, hidden instead of ngf. Okay, so, oh, ng hidden. Yeah, I don't, I don't think the browsers allow you to do this anymore. This used to work, but I don't think it works anymore. And even if it does, I don't want. Ooh, focus monitor. Okay. So I like the first one, first option, but is there a more more angular way to do a set timeout? A little hacky, updated. So I don't know why I was having a hard time with this the other day. I tried this, but I think I was trying to do that after view checked. Okay, so angular. Okay, so after next. Where is that? Okay, so after next render. Oh, okay, and then over here, I guess. Oh, so I guess you just import it, and then you say, hey, after the next render, set that. I like that. I'm gonna try that again. For some reason, it wasn't working for me before, but I feel like that check. I do. I used to do this a lot. This is so basically this will run like 60 times a second, and it is a really good way to do a lot of things that are kind of like this. The result after rendering. Okay, so I think, yeah, I want to try that after next render approach. It is 8:54, so tomorrow we are gonna, let me go ahead and put that in there though real quick. Wrong again, Aaron. Make this bigger. App menu. So if is open, basically we want to add some logic here. Add some, yeah, because I still need to create the menu reference variable. Add actually, I guess we need to update the focus either way. So like, if we close it, well, no, I guess if we close it, it'll already be in place. Okay, so if it is open, focus on the first menu item, and that's probably not really technically accurate from a coding perspective. We want to focus on adviz. So basically, oh, and then we probably, so I don't forget, I want to do the after next render. And I should have this, I will have this as a reference for tomorrow. See ChatGPT. Anyways, here we go. That was good. That was awesome. End-to-end tests rock. I never ever would have caught this issue, this keyboarding issue, without the end-to-end testing. And I think they should just work as is after this. I think that's what was broken. I'm not 100%. I would say I feel like 95% that as soon as I get the first thing getting focused on, it will. It'll fix it. Now it'll be, yeah, it should just fix. Happy coding, everybody. Bye.